behind. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet. Not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up. Finger to the sky.
Alright, well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back live here on PC Race TV. We're going to showcase to you 24 of the toughest GOAT Racing League Cup Series drivers here on the show. And what could best be a very tough race for them here in Kansas. Hello, everyone. I am the Crusader, Chris Driver, joining you guys back today here. We'll start them up here and get them lined up because we're already ready to get going. But your number 1 seed will be the number 18, Tyler Delvin on the outside. And number 12, it is going to be Aaron Action Jackson. Runner number 2 is Jeff Ramsdale, the 97 on the outside, the 93, Bud Shearer. Run number 3 is Keith Prince, the 3 on the outside, the 66, Doy Woods. Run number 4, the 9, Bobby Wetzel, the outside, the number 8, Maurice Burnett. Run number 5 is going to be Cody Sturgeon, the 24 on the outside, and the 42, Dakota Kramer. Run number 6, Joe Hudson, the 50 on the outside, and number 7 is Scott Simley. Run number 7 is piloted by Christoph Hall, the 44 on the outside, the 99. That is Wesley Donaldson. Row number 8 is going to be Alan Wild, the Wild Man, of the 22 on the outside, and the 5, it is going to be Chris Scala. Row number 9 will be Ron Holyfield, the 11 on the outside, and the 87 is Steve Ritter. Row number 10 is going to be Phil Schmitz, the 18, with the number 45 of Dayton Taylor. Finally, in row 11, it will be Cameron Dario in the 54. On the outside there, that will be Brian Wordman, the 94. Race fans, we're off and running. Let's get to the business. A little bit of a rundown here, as we've got Nick Cashman as well in that host, but we are fielded out, and we're set for stage number 1. Green flag dropped, and we're already racing. And the power and the roar of the drivers already being put to good use here and trying to see where they can set this one on down too. Right out of the gate here, Tyler Dalton will take the early advantage here. Ash Jackson Lane right behind him and lay low. Field will have 35 laps here in stage number 1 to complete. Then lap 80 will be our second stage. Setting up for a awesome final stage here. And we'll see what these drivers can bring to the table, can bring down the track here as we currently wrapping them around down for the first sectors into turn number 3 and 4. Butch here in the 93 immediately putting the RBS machine good use and putting it to work. As Ramsdell a little bit hard there off the corner there, getting himself trapped into the outside wall. Pass on the side there. He's got 2 passes up for him in this corner. Well, no surprise, these drivers are already trying to work the extreme outside lines and trying to work a little bit of that middle groove in this next-gen Cup car. It seems like the outside line is the fastest way to get around and the toughest way to navigate through. If you're unsure on how to make your way through the turns and make your way through the corners, that could be a troublesome slate for some of these drivers at times. But that always means that it just makes it that much more interesting to see who has the power, who has the momentum, and who can carry it through all the way from point A to point B. Scott Simley, the number 7 here, making a jump off the outside there to Gillette, number 44, Christoph Hall. Last week, Christoph Hall finally got his first win in a long time after taking down the famed Talladega Super Speedway. And now today, he's looking to try to get something figured out here in Kansas Speedway with this all-illustrious race today. Taking them down a little bit in between here. Battle ups in the middle pack as well. Top 10 going at it. Maurice Burnett and Dakota Kramer going at it a little bit. OnlyFans, Monster Energy versus the 3G8 and Burnett. You know, I honestly don't think we could get any more of the new generation to our millennial age than these 2 cars right here, if you ask me. And yes, yes, I was born in 98, so don't even come at me for that one, guys. Dayton Taylor, the number 45, kind of working his way right through the mix and right to the very edge with distance here, still hanging in there with the rest of the field as these drivers continue to battle hard and battle quick. Any kind of opening or any kind of line here is going to give them a chance to really take control of the race, but again, that's going to be if you're just in that mid-pack or that top pack here. The very front, though, involves only 3 drivers right now that have any decent chance at putting this to good use. One of them is literally the man who is on a reign of terror, Tyler Dalton, the 19 7500 Ford Mustang. This guy just does not give an inch. He doesn't give an inch, and he just doesn't seem to really care about it. He's trying to continue his winning ways. He's looking to add another one to his resume today. And just being so strong out of the gate here, I honestly got to believe he's got a really good feeling about when and where to make his moves and make his marks up here. I think the toughest part for him, though, is going to be that tire wear and that fuel run that comes with it. We've seen before where a long fuel run can sometimes cost the driver at the last second if they're not too careful. Could that be the case here? Lap 8 about a 160 here, running them back down to the field. The 99 here, Wesley Donaldson. I believe the first time we ever seen him here on the call here today, but good to have him on board. Wesley making a little bit of a 14th start here, so not too bad when you consider the amount of talent and craziness in this field. So a lot of heavy hitters to work with and a lot of drivers had to figure out and dictating through the pace here. Some getting a little bit out of control there on the top side. Dakota Kramer getting a little bit loose there off of turn number 2. Keith Prince kind of etching his way around a little bit. He just kind of kept poking the old bear a little bit. Didn't not sure where he wanted to go. Nevertheless, kept his cool there and kept himself in control. Alright, I may have said the last name wrong, but it's Chris Scala. I'm going to go with Scala for this one. Running down the number Toyota Camry here, the 5 of the M&M's machine. A little bit of a crossbred, if you ask me, but it is good to see the old M&M scheme still being put to good use, being put up on a good track here. Scala right now trying to work his way through the field, trying to make his way down across the playing fields, but he's having all sorts of problems trying to maneuver his way through traffic. Even with the 670 horsepower package like these Cup cars, man, it is so difficult to get huge runs and some good pushes through these kind of ordeals and through these kind of momentums here. Really forces the hammer down a driver to their absolute limits here when they can't get things figured out later into the race. Especially those that were kind of stuck back in the pack and now having to try to drive up as quick as they are now. Bobby Wetzel, the number 9, driving the Dodge Mopar. I know it's a Ford, but I'm going to go with the Dodge Mopar because that's really how they designed it. Trying to see if he can get this OEM a little bit of love and a little bit of a showcase. It's gone under many different names, including Ray Abraham Racing and of course Dodge Racing here. And it's now trying to put it back into victory lane. Wetzel has been pretty close this season, but I believe has been winless throughout his time so far. If he can get it figured out today, it certainly will help, but that is going to be the tough decision for him to have to figure out. Taking a look at our playoff grid here and our playoff standings so far. Yeah, Wetzel still without a win in the Truck Series. No wins in the Xfinity. However, we look at our overall deal there in the Cup Series, and he is still without a win as well. Sammy Harrell, of course, also without a win. Butch Shearer without one. Keith Printer and Jackson, John McMillan Jr. and Cody Sturgill winless so far. Looking to try to change that here as Wetzel immediately driving up quick and taking it right to Jackson as lap 35 approaches quick. Michael Bollinger says as well on the show, I'm ready for later on. Michael will be with us here on PT Racing TV with the Pedal Metal Racing League here. We'll see him a little bit later today. It's going to be interesting to see how all things go for him and how we get things for Talladega with him. But of course, we will be heading down to National Speedway today. That is your main event live tonight here on PT Racing TV. So be sure to like and follow us up if you have not already. To be ready for the action that's coming your way. Should be a great showcase and a wild time here on PT Racing TV to see who can get the better of the other and what will happen then and there. Back shot off the top of the cams here and up to the high skies. We point blank them right into their shot here. Scott Simley, Alan Wild, Dayton Taylor marking them down quick, marking them through fast. Each driver trying to get the better of the other. They're looking for some ground, some clearance. Winners so far this season: Dalton, Simley, Van Schaik, Doy Woods, Dario, Roethlisberger, Holyfield, Taylor, and Hall have all had a taste of victory lane so far. But there has been nobody that has been in Xfinity, Cups, or Truck more dominant, more edged out than Tyler Dalton. He's looking for win number 4 today. If he keeps this thing drilled to the ground and digged in, I think he's got a pretty good idea what to do with it. I think the toughest part for him is testing patience, momentum, and control above all else. And I think that's kind of the thing that he's going to really hate this time. Stack back in here, Dayton Taylor again, your driver that last couple times on the show really put up a great performance here and put on a great little show. And he's just looking to try to get that done again today, which again, I would concede definitely is one of the toughest things for him to kind of figure out because of how tricky and careful you have to be each corner, each turn, and each run you gather. So many areas and so many angles that could go horribly wrong in, and I think he's keeping a close eye on that right now. Back them up here, Doy Woods right now in the number 66, going down towards the bottom lane here. 24, Cody Sturgill, bringing a little general lead to the mix. I gotta love it when they get a little bit of those throwback to the old days, man. Even though I know that's not politically correct, I guess these days in NASCAR, I don't care nothing. I still love seeing the old general lead scheme with the Confederate flag and the rebel flag, whatever you want to call it, on the top of that bad boy. Got that very distinctive orange and that hard running little Dodge Charger style in there, although they're driving the Chevy today. Dalton still leading the field in about half a second ahead of Jackson right now. Wetzel trying to get back up there with him. Dayton Taylor making a little bit of a drive on the inside, the money line, looking to try and finally get something figured out. He's got a win in already this season and would love to get a few more to his name. But having to maneuver through traffic as hard as he is right now, that's definitely going to be easier said than done. 15 laps remain this time on by here as we are currently just halfway through of the stage. Ramsdell now having a little bit of company. The Pepsi-Cola Star Wars machine right now, trying to use the force and making sure to not go completely rogue on the 66 of Woods here. Although honestly, right about now, he may be using a little bit of that dark side of the force because he is pushing the light in the 97 back further and further. And that Howling 66 having all that he wants and everything he needs in between that run, in between that little rough road patch there. Michael Bollinger says it looks like the General Lee. Yeah, he's talking about the 24. That says, my friend, it does look like General Lee. It is the old General Lee. Can't go wrong with the old General Lee now. Action Jackson, man, what a guy that honestly this season has just absolutely stunned me. That he's been so consistent and so good, but yet still winless. The fact that I even put him in that name in that category and being winless is the same situation with Samuel Morrell. And Samuel has had 3 points from his bonus points so far this season. Jackson's got 1 from his stage points. The other guys right now struggling to kind of keep up with that pace, trying to keep up with that position. Really forcing everybody into a very tough little spot, a tough little deal. When the racing gets good, but man, is it getting harder and harder to master each track and master each run, especially when you got drivers that seemingly almost kind of blow the doors off the place and blow the roof over the building. Well, we had roofs here, and at least the stadiums here. Nevertheless, still a beautiful facility and a beautiful time to be alive here. Gantz right now having a good little battle as well. Back behind the field, the Wild Man, Alan Wild, going head-to-head here with Christoph Hall. As Hall tries to center escape from the outside. Wild going to the bottom, going to burn up a little rubber, but burn up a little more speed, make his corner entry perfectly set. It's getting tighter and tighter and harder to master each line, master each angle. And you can just see the more they go, the further it becomes treacherous on those tires on the left side and the right side of their equipment. Left side tires can handle a little bit more, but the right sides, when they burn up badly. The tire model I got on these things too, man, I gotta believe a lot of them really have to be careful and patient on their moves and their markers here, knowing how much it becomes a little bit more wearing and tearing on themselves mentally, but just physically, just to kind of hang up there and stay towards the front. Shearer right now currently going to look towards our stage, end of the stage break. This is currently holds in the top 5. Wesley Donaldson in the 99, 9 spots up. Not the Hard Charger Award winner, but Dayton Taylor will be. He started all the way back in 20th, and he's just, you can see, kind of poking around down there. The Money Lion is having quite a time out there. He's making for a good run or two in between. On board here with the 45 right now. As currently he continues to try to keep this car settled up straight. So easy to get that thing a little bit loose and a little bit tightened off on the edges here. It's not a car you can really kind of play in very nicely. It will force you into some very tough little deals and situations as Wetzel forces himself a little bit into a bad spot with Shearer jumping right into him. The RBS 93 making a great little run down there off of turn number 3 to turn number 4. And a big run coming through. He takes over position. And Wetzel looks like he's going to be having even more problems in a minute. Usually gets a clip on the right rear corner panel there. As Donaldson having to back off, set her back down, and the Dodge Mopar having all sorts of issues. Coming back up in between here. Donaldson losing time, losing ground, but not so much. Joy Woods as he's getting a lot of momentum there as he gets it past Wetzel in the corner. Donaldson though slowing up a little bit. Here comes Woods. Charging quick. Looking for the final passes here before stage break. 5 more to go. And now Taylor, the money line 45. Man, look at this. These guys, those that drove hard early, are paying the absolute price for this one. But what this does is that because the tire wear and everything affects these cars so badly, it actually gives them more of an opening to work off from and really kind of scale back into. It gives them a lot of opportunities to use up and take control of the races. And in turn, maybe use up whatever else they can on the spotlight here. Scala, right now, the number 5, kind of pushed a little bit closer up to that number 7 is Simley. As Ramsdell somehow staying in that top 10 too. But they're all hunting down the reign of terror himself. Try as they might, Dalton just is absolutely flamboyant on his speed, his power, and his control of the car. And as your top 3 kind of shoots right by you there, Dalton, Jackson, now Donaldson. Kind of anybody's guess really here now at this point who's going to be kind of making a big run here for that spot, that big edge of the race here. We only cut into a quick commercial break here when the stage comes to an end, so stay tuned for that here, folks. But right now, just a few more laps left. Everybody getting whatever left they have in there as Simley goes to war. Pulls out the sword and says, "On guard," to Ramsdell. And Simley drives that bad boy up to the top. A little Heineken thrown down into Pepsi. He poured it right over him and said, "This is what a true drink tastes like, my friend." And once he got Ramsdell a little woozy, a little bit uneven because Simley passes him on the outside, and as he drops the drink on him, it goes all the way to the front. Well, that's better than going all the way up anyway. Oh, wait a minute, he was going all the way up. Never mind, I got to stop with my bad jokes here. Well, speaking of going up to the front, though, Scherer is not looking too far behind as well. These drivers getting really late in this charge, but they're still a bit off from first and second. Jackson and Dalton really were able to keep their tempo and keep their pace, so I think they're really going to have to look at timing here and what is going to be the best run and the best line to use up to stay with the lead pack. Do they obligate to go burning the tires quicker, or do they try to obligate to back off a little bit sooner? Well, it'll be their call one way or another here, coming down to the final legs of this race of stage 1. Straight shot line out of the corner there. Dayton trying to make one more move on Doy, not quite getting much room. Tyler Dalton, though, looking to the front, looking to the top, and it's going to be stage number 1. Tyler Dalton bringing it home. Your stage number 1 winner will be the number 19 Tyler Dalton here, and now lap 80 going to be the next marker to go here. That will certainly set the field up for a lot of on-track shenanigans, a lot of on-track racing here. Ladies and gentlemen, when we come back here, we're going to see more of the action, more of the racing to be had. Stage number 2 coming your way when we come back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, live here on Pizza Race TV. Caution lights are off on the pace car here as drivers get settled in from their First caution of the day, stage number 2. Coming to a start here as we come off turn number 4. The first stage coming to a swift and solid end brings us here back to our green flag on the restart zone. Doy Wood's going to lead it out here to the line. Share right beside him there. Green flag back underway. Much better jump start there for sure. Huge run entering through the corners and down to the exits. Woods on the inside here with Dalton on the outside now, packing them up a little bit down across the back of the field. The rest of the drivers currently hanging in there. Shearer opening the door up, and yet again the reign of terror must continue. Dalton, your leader. Nothing will stop the reign of terror in his mind. Back of the pack right now, trying to move their way through. A little Bucky's 98 slinging around back there. That's Nick Cashman hanging around back in the course across the field, across the grass side here, 3 wide from the front straightaway. Christoph Hall, Maurice Burnett, and Scott Simley having a little bit of a piece of the pie here, just kind of hanging in there a little bit down to the exits into the corners. You can see the 87 as well. Steve Ritter looking to put a serve bolt right in between this field. 3 wide from 3 to 4, cornered off. Ritter looking like he may have the electricity flowing through the air and throwing through his car. He's got all that power and all that momentum kicking up a notch and kicking through the speed and just trying to stick to it. But he's got Dayton Taylor right beside him now, behind him in the inside lane. The 45 of Taylor trying to stick with him. Well, on board here with the general lead styled up, number 24, Cody Sturgill. Now Sturgill getting a lot of carry there through the corners there. You see how much Wetzel was slowing up a bit there. I'm not sure, maybe that was just overdriving on Sturgill's part. Wetzel was really backing off a lot more than anything, but he really set a stronger exit up on his end just for doing that. Oh, that might be a reason there. Listen to that. You get the fuel mileage actually incorporated in. Wetzel is already clutching the truck, clutching the car in. He's clutching the pedal up, getting onto the throttle. Listen right there. Yeah, that pure form of science is to help keep the car from not burning any more fuel line cells up, trying to give himself any more issues to worry about. It's actually a brilliantly cohesive strategy and very conducive to what he likes to do. Just trying to ride out the run, trying to ride out the speeds here. That's lap times here right now being marked in, and currently what I'm seeing is a 31.04. Your fast lap time. Who said it? Well, you can probably guess here from who I just picked on the camera section here. The 87 of Steve Ritter has done that and then some, and he's right now looking to get a little bit more along for the ride. Having the fast lap though only gets you so much when you get through this racing kind of ordeal. Number 12, Aaron Action Jackson right now getting some company behind him. Dalton looking to stay ahead of the early transition into the late transition, but again, he is going to have to be very, very well aware. He is burning up a lot of equipment. He's burning up a lot of stuff down there. Staying up on the barge, staying up on the top side again. Really, it just seems like it's getting harder and harder to get a good runoff from that corner too. From what I understand right now is that the dirty air is literally pushing every single driver into a very tough little spot and do a tough little deal here. Because it's either you drive it extremely harder or you're going to have to drive it a little bit more compact, a little bit more aggressively. Either way, it is not looking good here. And the longer it's going right now, guys, it just looks more and more like Dalton being up front where he's at. He's going to rely on the speed trick to keep everyone in that bad spot. You would think, though, with that 670 horsepower package, it give them a little bit more drive, a little bit more give, and a little bit more taste to use. But no, actually, it feels like, if anything, it's just as tough and it's just as bad. It's not as bad as the 550, but it's still up there. Again, it may be just be my eyes. Maybe I'm just going absolutely crazy so far in what I'm seeing, but really it just feels more and more like I'm seeing a lot of drivers that are trying to get up there and get that move. They're not getting as much off those corners, as much off those turns. And it's really showing too. Everybody though right now currently having a little field day and trying to figure out the strategy, so maybe they're just trying to lay off right now. They don't want to get too innocuous, they don't want to get too crazy here. Really forcing themselves to make the right move at the right time. Back on through here right now. Keith Prince just going head to head here with Christoph Hall. Hall is a lap down, by the way. I believe he decided to take a risk there and end up putting him into pit road on lap 50. So trying to save the fuel up and then trying to make it move around everyone else quickly. That's kind of how he's planned it out. I don't know necessarily it's a very smart move, very smart strategy, but I've been very wrong before, so who knows. Hall's one of those cats, man, you just kind of got to watch him. It's like sometimes he can figure it all out, and then sometimes it just seems like he's missing that hit by like a mile sometimes, like where he airballs it in basketball terms. I don't think that's really the case today. I think really he's got a very distinctive strategy, and he's hoping that if everything goes well, it will work. But again, the problem with very distinctive strategies is that not always do they work, but also they're very tough to truly master and pull off. You're on board here, Ron Holyfield, the number 11 right now, currently staying up ahead of Keith Prince in the number 3. The big 3 and the big 11 right now going at it here. Yeah, Holyfield does have a race win under his belt this season. He got that back at Atlanta New Super Speedway, the new Atlanta. But I just call it the Super Speedway. I don't call it Motor Speedway. That would be the 08 version. Having himself quite a time and quite a little showcase out of himself here. He's been trying so desperately to keep up that pace and keep up that run, so he can stay further ahead of the issues that kind of been plagued on him. Man, you can just hear that fuel being saved up and trying to push as far out as they possibly can. Simley really wants this fuel run to work. And Dwayne Woods, the more he's hearing it, the more he just continues to get back on the gas and letting everyone else have it for all he cares. We're pushing a lot of time though here. I mean, these drivers, I know they're a little bit further into the gap. Maurice Burnett right now, he went in the same strategy as Christoph Hall as well as Bud Shearer. Al Wild to an extent. Although Al and Wild having a little bit of problems down there in pit road, ended up costing him plenty of time, so the 22 right now in trouble. Down on the outside here, Burnett and Holyfield have a little tussle. There goes the 8. Burnett driving an extremely close call there in close line. You can see fresher tires and fuel will do for you. Allows you to do kind of maneuvers like that. He went top, then he went low, and then he said, hey, let's see where this one goes. And just jumped right ahead of everybody, and now nothing left on the table. Only 21 laps remaining before we get to stage number 2. And then from there, it's, well, whoever wants to race it out the line and race it to the end, that's on you guys. Should be exciting to watch. Should be exciting to see here, race fans. Again, also, still to come today here, we do have Pedal to the Metal Racing League and the Truck Series. They'll be back at Nashville Super Speedway for the Butt Kicker 100, so stay tuned for that one. Should be in a wild little show. I have our longtime colleague and friend, co-worker of the show here, Michael Bollinger, joining me here as a color commentator as well today. Here, you'll be joining with me as well. Came back from Talladega, so I'm going to be able to chat with us here as I have a little chat with that wall protection. Donaldson kind of gave me a little love tap there, giving the 887 to Steve Ritter a little chance to jump it right ahead, but Ritter does not capitalize on the mistake. Ritter back down. Now having to look down low again. The serve bolt. 87 trying to maneuver through here as Alan Wild right now looks to get ahead of all of them again. The Wild Man having a little bit of a jump up ahead, trying to fight through this position, trying to fight to the corners, but at the same time not trying to hurt anything. Dayton Taylor in pit road. First of what could be many heading to pit road soon here in a minute. And it looks like Donaldson is having some issues with the old glitchcraft for gremlins down there, for what I can tell anyway. Yeah, field right now currently just trying to stick to the fuel mileage. They're sticking to kind of their guns and just trying to let it loose here. Everybody having a different kind of consensus on how to really run this field in, run this drive down. Jerry Livingston there and Little Schmidt's way behind the gap, and Trent is really struggling here a bit. Well, the more they keep doing it too, the more they're just giving old Tyler Dalton something to think about here. He's marching quickly up there. He's making a pretty quick little jump up to the front. Look like Alan Wild going back into the front here as well. He's trying to make himself a little more on shot and a little more on target where he wants to get it to. Field right now is just currently struggling to gap out any further. I think at this point it's just kind of turning more into a long run pile in and just hope for the best. Not a whole lot you can do either, too, because again, most drivers probably want to conserve their tires, serve their equipment, and serve their car up. But a track like this is where it gets really hard to kind of figure out. And it gets extremely endurance and endurable on there. And Nick Cashman right now into pit road as well, so he'll be kind of getting in there with that field. Keith Prince still tinkering around there in the top 10. He's a top 5 driver usually a lot of times. He's got a lot of speed to him, just hasn't really been able to put up a winning formula here. It looks like he's trying to get that figured out today. Well, nevertheless, everyone's still hunting down the bag dog of them all, the reign of terror himself. As he continues to just let it all hang out there and let all that power be put to good use. I think there's a reason why we need to talk about why Dalton, though, is extremely fast right now. But I think we're going to have to wait another lap or two because it looks like he's ended up at road. Jackson, for the first time today, will now take the lead away. A couple of laps remaining here in stage number 2. Stage 1 and 2 is the laps you want to take home and bring to the spotlight here. Jackson trying to hang on. Look for the best kind of run he can get out of it, but he's losing ground and time. So is Donaldson. So they're gonna have to call a pit road stop on that one. And Dalton already trying to beat him out to the punch here. Jackson and Donaldson need to get only what the bare minimum is and drive off from there. Jackson at pit road right now. Wetzel staying out. Looks like the 9 Mopar Dodge going to stay out as long as he can here. Certainly playing a fine line between hard racing and then closer racing here. If he can somehow sneak it around here just a little bit longer, he might have a chance here. He's only got about 5 laps to go this time around. Ron Holyfield, though, he's not far behind either. Yeah, crazy thing is, he's not even clutching in either, so right now he's just driving this thing in where he wants to. And it looks like he'll have to admit defeat too. He'll go to pit road here, so Wetzel staying out. 3, now 5, turn to 4, laps to go. Doy was right now having lap traffic come up from behind him here on the number 15. Joe Hudson here and looking to try to move right ahead of him, and then the lap traffic man himself, Jerry Livingston. Nowhere left to go and nowhere left to hide. These drivers only have so much time left on the clock. And Doy sounds like he's starting to clutch in a little bit more. He's having a lot of give here. Wetzel right now, just one more lap, and he pushes it to the very edge of the car, the very edge of existence, but Ramsdell trying to get one last hunt on him, couldn't quite get it. It will go to Bobby Wetzel. So, right now, Wetzel yet again add another stage point to his name. He knows as well as anything, he still has one more thing to do. And it's the one thing he hasn't been able to do just yet. He'll have his hands full there, but he is looking for the top spot and the top honors. Ladies and gentlemen, when we come back, your final stage is coming your way. Can any of these drivers get the top spot without running out of fuel or tire or insanity? Find out when we return to Pizza Race TV. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here live onto the show here, as we are now set for the final stage. We are here and proud to give you guys the final showcase of the day. This is going to be one last hard run for all these drivers. Ramsdell going to lead them down to the pack as the green flag drops here. We're going back at it in Kansas. So here we go, final stage now, set on the point, set on the chart here, right out of the gates. Scott Sibley and Steve Ritter. The two boys that start with an S that end with victory to their name and their minds, going out of here with Dayton Taylor, looking to try to scoop up the spot, scoop up the run. Searching their way down across the plains here. Dayton Taylor looking for the lead. Simply going to try to hold them down on the bottom. Top side, bottom side, looking in all around. See which way this one goes to Sunday. Race fans, a little caution trouble down the track though. Caution out. Major damage there suffered, unfortunately, for Doy Woods and Ron Holyfield, as well as the number 5. Both drivers taking a little hit there. Chris Galad, unfortunately, not able to get out of this mess. Unscathed. To the Pizza Race TV, it's a replay. Let's take a look at the replay. Came right off down across turn number 3 and 4. A little 3-wide situation. Doy Woods backing off. Whoa, what on earth? What on earth? Ah, that is a little weird. Doyle looked like he was okay, and all of a sudden, what the heck happened there? I don't even know what to think about that one. I don't know if the power shut off on his end, or he lost power in the steering wheel, or what happened, but man, that thing completely shot off on him. You don't see electronics just shut off like on you like that, so we're taking a look one more time here. I don't know, race fans. This is very strange there. Doy definitely lost power on something. He did shift though down, so that tells me he knew what was going on. Let's look on Ron Holyfield's camera here. Yeah, there wasn't really much Ron could do about that one. Well, everything turned a little topsy-turvy over here, and now the driver's currently just figuring out what the heck happens. We're getting back onto the live call here. A little bit of a little mixed bag there in terms of results. Not too sure what exactly transpired, but nevertheless, the show must go on, as they say. So caution lights flickering on there. That will get us back to the restart zone. Simley Ritter, Sturgill Burnett, Kramer Hall. Going head-to-head yet again here down to the Global Strategy Team restart zone. Green flag back in the air. 3 wide down to the distance here and down to the corners and every which way to Sunday. Now comes the heavy hitting. Big jump off around the corners here for Tyler Dalton as he's looking to try to get back into this fight. Sturgill, Ritter, and them also in it. Paul trying to prove he's not a one-hit wonder, although I'll tell you right now, he's definitely not. He doesn't have to prove nothing in my book. He won in Talladega, just finally kind of breaking a little bit of a losing streak for him. But he's shown much great speed in the past. Looking to get it done again here and down through turn number 2 here. Sturgill, Ritter, moving up ahead, right now trying to go hack out of here. Dalton swinging his way on the inside. I was going to show you earlier on what made Tyler Dalton so fast. Well, right now we're going on board with him. This is the keys to victory for Dalton. Keep it close, keep it slick, keep it spilled. Look at this. Look at the way that car steers in. Notice how he does not go too far past a 9 o'clock, a 10 o'clock position. He does not hit a 9 o'clock position. He stays in a 10 o'clock position. And notice how he keeps that power up, uses the draft when he needs to, uses the momentum on the outside line, keeps the RPMs up. The more you keep that run off, the better the car becomes, the faster it drives. The higher the RPMs, the better the drive. You'll need every bit of it here to stay in that race lead. Steve Ritter, your new leader. Trying to stay ahead of that little transition here. Simley in the Heineken number 7, though, looking for a crossover yet again. This is a good battle for the lead here yet again. Getting kind of Kyle Larson, Martin Truex Jr. vibes from the first Kansas race they ever have of these next-gen Cup cars. 2 drivers just going head-to-head with one another and in a compact and impressive battle off. The journey is more important than the destination, in my opinion. It makes it a lot more fun to watch in some cases. And right now you're getting a good, fun little road show here from these drivers as the field just continues to park their way in position to make passes, make opportunities well spent. Dalton Getting a good drive off there, making his way around Ritter as the field now starts to get a little bit deeper into the abyss of madness. Joe Henson certainly seems to be one of those drivers. The USAL 15, so close so far this season to get win number 1 out of the way, but has not been able to get it done just yet. Coming down around the edges here, you can hear the power and the momentum still roaring and soaring to these drivers' minds and their thoughts here. Trying to stay consistent and stay in control of what they can do for this one right now. Wesley Donaldson still having some glitch graphic gremlins happening, attacking, and having a little feast on his end there. But Dahl, now your race leader once again. The 19 continues the reign of terror. Look at the reign of terror there. Christoph Hall, my. 3 wide saluting and makes a little bit of a terroristic maneuver and threat on the drivers there as he forces them back behind him. Hall not letting up and trying to shave off all that extra cream they left behind. From the back to the front, the Gillette is currently getting a nice, smooth, clean run from the back to the front. As he gets everything kind of dialed in more, though, it will look further and further along to take control of this race. Guys like Bud Shearer, too, man, right now, just having to stay somewhat close proximity and somewhat close to the target in the area here really forces their hand a little bit more often than not, I've noticed. They know what's on stake and they know what's on the line. And that seems to be their biggest dilemma, their biggest sin point here to save up from. But to trying to get a little bit more runoff down to the corners here as laps continue to tour away. Got about 58 laps remaining. It'll turn to 57 laps next go around. Laid back low, laid back in kind of driving here. Reese Burnett certainly in that category and certainly in that chase, in that hunt. And these guys really right now just kind of looking at overall dilemma, the overall situation. They're really only left with a couple of options, which is A, mash the gas and pound this bad boy into the ground and hope for the best, or B, hope it could just stay out of trouble and stay in more of a run 2 kind of line. Hope it was for the good or for the better here. Dalton still keeping a good grasp on the race lead, not letting anything behind him really worried or dictate that up too much for him. 3 wide down on the back half for just a fleeting moment. The wild man Alan Wild trying to stay somewhat out of problems, considering he's being a couple laps down. Just can't see to catch a breaker, can't see to really catch any opportunities or chances on that end of that front. Parking him down around Jackson here. Man, what a race he's had today. Led up a good portion there on the second spot there, and now having to completely reverse and divert himself back into the fold, back into the chute. Looking to hang on to whatever he can. Keeping the grass on the track, keeping a grasp on the cars here. Simley and Dalton and Taylor here currently moving from the bow house, moving to the White House a little bit. 10 spots up here for Taylor, but Dawson with 11 spots making his move and his mark. Simley down on the inside here, sure, just led him on the bottom lane, opened up and let him have some room. You got a good leg up and you get a good little bit of extra speed and business here, man, it will do you some good. And it has been doing them some good, to say the least. Shearer right now pushing the 45 a little bit to get to the 7. Doesn't seem to want to back off anymore there. Cutting through the gas, turning through the track, every driver for themselves here. Come on the outside, Sturgill. Problems up there, having a little bit of a get around there. Now trying to get back into the gas pedal. Hudson right underneath him, trying to settle him down. Each driver right now holding on for whatever they can. 3 wide just for a brief second there into the back to turn 3. Hudson to the top. Little slide job, little cross up there from the 15 from bottom to the top and through the heavy hitters. Right out of this mid back right now, putting on a show. You're driving speeds well over 190 miles per hour. You're putting on a fight, just trying to get this thing so dialed in and stick to the ground. This track will not give you any breaks, and it certainly won't give you any options to mess up here. Wetzel now looking further and further along to the front. Trying to get a little bolster of power and momentum kicked up. Little 3 wide yet again here, Shearer. Man, there's something gone wrong with that 93. He's having all sorts of problems. It seems though he can't seem to get that car to stay somewhat straight or relatively on line or on plane point. Could be due to a lot of things. Could be just due to just overdriving the corners. Could be because he's got a right front going down or a right rear going down. Either way, it's tightening up badly and it's giving him plenty of opportunities to just go straight into that wall and lose everything he had built up. Another stack up. Oh, big stack up. Little tumble down right on the corner. Hudson and Taylor. Worlds colliding. A little rubbing is racing. Bumping and beating and banging and trapping it up. Crossover. Roll slide job at Hall though. Taylor Hey, he has got a set down there, but I don't know if he wanted to throw the set upstairs. Nevertheless, gets one right on Hall. Hall trying to back it down into another corner, getting it back on the gas pedal. 3 wide, nearly almost no. It will be a solid effort, but there is no gimmies here. Both drivers staying in control. Which driver gets the better of the other? Which driver can set the phone right off? Wetzel. Problems in the 9. Laps off the wall. Now back to the front here as Hudson and Hall look to try to get something going here at the USAL 15. Big jump to the inside. Looking to stick the run on the 44. Oh, no he's not. No he's not. Trouble. Right in front here. Trouble on the front straightaway. Problems for the number 15 and Hudson yet again on the receiving end. Another race and another little dilemma where the 15 finds himself slammed into the wall and into a trouble lump sum slate. What's I gonna look at it? I know there was a lot of crossbacks and a lot of throwbacks there in terms of the old hard racing mentality, but my word, this was not what I think these guys had in mind. Hall slightly catching him barely in the corner. Look at 15 of Hudson just drifting right off there and getting him into all sorts of problems. At that point, he really had nothing he could do about it. He was just kind of hoping for the car to stick to its line. We'll go on board with Hall in a minute, but here's the onboard here of Hudson. Look at this, drives up. He thinks he's clear, and then ouch. Just ouch. It's not a feeling I would want to be in anybody's shoes for. Let's just say that. One last look at it. Yeah, it looked to me like Hall didn't even realize like what happened until it was like too little too late. I think he was kind of expecting him to stay right about where he was at and run it from there, but instead it was the complete opposite. Instead he ends up getting clipped and destroyed on that front and on that end of the track. So that will definitely set this field up for one more big run here. It looks like we're currently getting set to go here on the green flag restart. Fuel mileage is going to be very, very tight here. This was your second caution of the day, if you don't count the stage brakes. Which, again, we never do. We try not to anyway. Coming right off down to the line here, back to the green flag restart zone. Assembly will lead it down, sure, with Kramer and all them behind. Now comes the everlasting tough spot, though. Assembly driving it deep, driving it quick. Shearer right in that mix, right into that fold. The driver's leaving nothing on the table here. Shearer, ooh, getting it close, getting fast. Uh-oh, uh-oh, hold on, Kramer, hold on, hold on. Ooh. Well, he about got sentenced to the shadow rim, but he did get pushed back a little bit. But Shearer and them almost taking it completely out of proportion there and having all sorts of problems. Oh, there's problems down there indeed. Something's gone wrong. Nick Cashman, the 98 Buckies. May need to visit that gas station up right about now. He's got a problem. Gotta try to find a way to get the old Beaver squared up again with 36 laps left on the clock. Time dropping in quick. Time dropping up fast. Ramsdale looking for his first win in the Next Gen Cup Series. Got a couple of Truck Series wins, but he hasn't been able to get a Next Gen Cup Series victory just yet. Would this be his time? If he's going to do it, though, he's got a lot of guys right now and currently just trying to look to edge them out a little bit. Scherer. Oh! Ramsdale hard into the wall down on turn 2. Ramsdale hard in the wall. Can he keep him clean? Oh, big push there for Hall. Hall with a good push and a good run because Bobby Wetzel and Keith Prince decided to hit a purple rainstorm out there. It just completely mashed in the gas pedal, and Wetzel getting all of the 3 there off that turn through the dead spectrum. And Scherer, I don't know how the heck this guy came back as quick as he did, but he's not giving up. Scherer now dipping it down low. He's looking for the pass, looking for the run. He's not going to get him here. Oh, but maybe. Wait a minute. He's rubbing against Simley. He rubbed against Simley. 3 wide down through turn number 4. Big drop coming from the top. Oh, my. Oh, my goodness. That was some hard racing there, but I don't know if Simley will think otherwise about that. Scherer driving it right underneath them, and both drivers getting a little bit tangled in there, and that was some serious battle in between those 2. I've seen Simley get ran like that before. I'll say he usually doesn't appreciate that too much. Well, he'd think the same thing here. Scherer looks like he might have a problem. The 9-3 probably desperate for a win finally, and right now he's struggling to keep the car in motion and keep it under control. Your new leader will be Aaron X and Jackson. But for how long? Because it seems like we're having a little bit of a back and forth affair. I said earlier, the dirty air seemed to be getting the better of these drivers. Well, I think I might have to eat my own words. I think that literally was just a line of BS, because honestly it looks like that's changed. A line of nonsense to be exact, I should say. Look at Ritter right now. Now he's looking for the pass. Gets a good run. He's got a really good run here. Here it goes to the bottom. They're looking for the crossover. Can the Serve Bull cross him? He goes up. Can he come down? Yes, he can. Ritter, your new leader. You got to wonder, though, in the back of your mind, if you're sure here, how much damage did he take rubbing against Simley like that? Especially considering Simley's behind him now. Does he worry about the Heineken number 7 having a little bit of his way up to him? Hard to really say, but man, what some awesome racing here in the later half of this race. Good hard racing, but at the same time a little bit of some would say maybe a little bit dirtier than usual kind of racing. Well, that's just kind of the deal. Sometimes you gotta race your way around, you gotta race your way in. That's how we say it, that's how we'll do it. Mine is navigating it right through. Wesley Donaldson, the 99, having a little bit of a push, a little bit of a run there. Seeing if he's got anything left on the table, left on the timestamp here. Bobby Wetzel, the number 9, no car Dodge machine, still in it. He's ninth currently, and he's looking to try to move it back to the front. Ritter, the Hard Charger Award recipient, though, from 18th to 17th to 1st. 17 spots up, but you can hear the fuel now starting to be cut off on some of these drivers. They know what's up. They know what's going on. They are in a very tight-ended spot. Really left only a couple options. Do you decide to wait it out and hope for the luck that you need to, or what are they going to do? Making their way in between here. Double filed up, double sided in. Each driver right now looking closer and closer to the end of this race. And they know too. There is still only so much time and applications left that they can use here. The 98 of Nick Cashman right now having a little tussle there with the General Lee himself and Cody Sturgill. Just trying to get a Rebel Nature out on him in there and trying to see what he can do. A lot of guys right now, again, they're so close together and so tightly compact. Because again, they're all trying to do the same thing, which is save the last bit of fuel they have underneath them. Ritter may have the lead, but that doesn't mean nothing right now. The only thing that matters is getting to the winner's circle. Simley now holding up on the outside. Dalton shipping and clipping away. Looking to the run, looking for the drive, looking for the sign. Then the Sim 518 has got his reign of terror put into grass. His teammate, though, he's got his Simley not looking to let him by so easily. Just because your teammates, just because your friends doesn't mean nothing in these races. What matters most is to win the race. Above all else, unless you absolutely have to give up that run and give up that spot there for them and not mess up their own time. Not the easiest thing to deal with, and it's certainly not the easiest thing to fall back on. Their way in between here. Looks like Donaldson debut race looking to make it a little bit more noise, make a little bit more of a statement on these guys. Looking to sneak their way down across here. 20 laps to go this time on by. The gap's starting to separate more and more. It looks like Ritter, though, looks like he might have a pretty good chance here. Currently our fastest times are at 31.03. Right now that was set by Dakota Kramer. That is our fastest time. Actually, Nick Cashman now getting a 31.02, so that sets him into the bar a little bit. Shearer right now packed off on the back half there with a 12 air in action. Jackson, Dalton moving up into the second spot in the groove right now, starting to swing his way. Uh-oh, Jackson on the wall. Shearer to the inside, 3 wide. Jack him up and stack him up. Let's get to it. Dayton Taylor and Scott Simley, man, letting it all hang out there. They had nothing left to give and everything to go for. That, my friends, is what you call walking the plank and walking the fine line of stuff you just can't get into. My, that was some serious drive off there between those two heavy hitters. And Simley right now trying to keep Taylor behind him. Dayton wants win number 2. But is he going to be able to get to it now? Shifting through the back. Steve Ritter to pit road. Your new leader. To reign of terror himself. Tyler Dalton is now. He begins to clutch the throttle. Speeding up the pace, speeding up the drive. These drivers know they're running out of time. Look at Jackson back in the inside here. The music starting to flow through his soul. We'll be hearing that music later on in the Pedal to the Metal Racing League Sunday night edition here as we're going to the Truck Series at Nashville Super Speedway. Stay tuned for that. Oh my goodness, folks, just absolutely crazy to think, crazy to believe. Nobody giving an inch and everyone wanting to just give it their heart and their soul. If it means making every work, everything they do means something here. Tell you what's on the 9, Root getting a little bit of drop on the outside. Burnett looking to try to cross him up on the outside line, looking in. But he couldn't quite get the inside to bop up to the top as quick as he would like to here, and then they're costing him a little bit of time. 15 laps will turn to 14 laps to go. This go, Dalton still leading him in quickly, still leading up an impressive playoff performance and hard racing throughout. This is some furiously intense, crazy racing today. Simley, despite the fact that he got clemmed up there by Bud Shearer, he's still in this for the record. Dalton and them currently watching everything and watching their line kind of slip away. Can't let time run out that much. You can't let anything go out that quickly. He's well aware of that, and he's trying to push everything to its final leg. Well, Assembly right now probably just thinking if Dayton Taylor can work with him a little bit and draft up, he may be able to stick with Dalton, but it looks like Taylor, I think right now, probably thinking about something else in his mind. Coming down to the edges in the final laps here, race fans. These drivers have pushed their limits. They have pushed themselves through everything today. But now the final laps must contend to a champion race win. 10 laps will now turn to 9 to go. Top 5 on your screen. Dalton hanging in there right now. He's been so smooth on that outside. But again, listen to what he's doing. Clutching the throttle. He's clutching the valve. He's trying to let off and let in. He doesn't want to let anyone else into this run except for himself and Victory Lane. His choices are wise, his moves are smart, but can he hang on just for a little bit? Packed up with 8 laps left to go here. Taylor and Simley just continuing to make last minute charges up here. Perhaps saving every bit they can. They really have to too at this point. They have no choice. And Donaldson here looking pretty smooth and clever here as well. So if any of these drivers can make any mistake here, I think they may give them a chance to take this one into the run. They're putting everything they got on the line here, though. 6 laps to go. They have no choice. They're staying out. If they go to pit road now, it's over and done with. And it looks like a little wild card thrown in there, so... Lapsed up for a last minute run here right now. Tyler Dalton has got a lot of carrying weight on his end. Dalton knows what's behind him. The anticipation awaits. Could we get ourselves a big jump to the front, or will we see nothing left on the table? Dalton, if I'm him right now, I'm thinking just save every bit you got and wait for anyone to try to sneak their way on you. 4 laps left. Simley is pushing the heck out of that 7. The Heineken right now is drinking up all he can. He's trying to put everything he's got into that fuel canister. And he's looking for whatever run he can get to get that final leg up and hope for the best here. I just don't know if it's going to be enough or he's going to have enough time to hold on. Because even with Taylor, if he makes one move on him, that could cost both of them. Dalton's looking for that to happen and maybe get him a chance. 3 to go. Taylor parking on the outside here. Simley, oh look at this. He gave him the run. He gave him the opening. Now Taylor, one more chance. He's looking for him. Simley though, he's going to block it down on that bottom. Dalton looking to try to use that to his advantage. He can't cross him on the bottom lane. Now he gets it back ahead. We're down to 2 to go. Dalton knows that may have been the death blow. That could have been his opening, or could have been his unsuccessful move. Dayton Taylor right now is charging. He's hustling. He's bustling. He is putting this thing down. He buckled it up, and he's looking for the final leg. Dalton will have his hands full with just 2 more laps to turn into 1 more lap to go. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. White flag high in the air for Tyler Dalton. Can he hang on? He's kept his reign of terror up for this long. What's one more win without this one? Dayton Taylor in the money line trying to get the 45 back to him. He's looking for everything he can. I don't know if he's going to have enough time though. It doesn't look like it. The fuel looks good. The final runner looks good. Through corner number 3 to turn number 4. Tyler Dalton's going to do it. He wins it at Kansas. And an impressive final lap resume between Taylor and Simley will show. Simley just barely eking him out. Simley slammed into the wall. Turn number 4 there. He is okay. Gets it across the line, but it's all for naught. Your winner at Kansas City, Kansas Speedway will be Tyler Dalton as he brings home his 4th win of the season in the Trucks Gen Cup Series and continues the absolute embankment of the reign of terror in the Global Strategy Team Jack Racing Collectibles Racing Next Gen Cup Series. What a season and series for him so far. And I think he just ran out of fuel, ladies and gentlemen. Here comes your final results on your screen, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Tyler Dalton, your winners. Dayton Taylor going to go 2nd. Scott Simley 3rd. Aaron X. Jackson 4th. Keith Prince going to go home 5th. 6th to Christoph Hall. 7th to Bud Shearer. 8th to Wesley Donaldson. 9th to Maurice Burnett. 10th to Bobby Wetzel. Rounds out your top 10 in this one. Rest of your finishers on your screen to cap off this night today in Kansas Speedway. Oh my, what a race, fans. What a day it has been, and it's not even over yet. We have got one more showcase for you to go. We will see you guys live back here on the show with Pedal Metal Racing League Truck Series in just a little while, but for now, thank you so much for tuning in. Be safe out there. Take care. God bless all. We'll see you next time.